Shrek!
Fiona!
Donkey!
Everyone has turned out to honor Princess Fiona and Shrek. Look, here comes Sleeping Beauty. Oh!
I hate these ball shows. Flip over to Wheel of Torture.
You are cordially invited
Dinner is served.
Everybody dig in.
Don't mind if I do, Lillian.
to meet the family,
It's easy to see where Fiona gets her good looks from.
make new friends, and discover what happens
Shrek and Donkey on another whirlwind adventure.
after Happily Ever After.
Now, where were we?
Donkey!
DreamWorks invites you to meet the cast of Shrek 2.
Give me that bop.
Donkey! You're a...
Stallion, baby! I took some magic potion. Now I'm sexy.
Hello, far, far away.
They've decided to do it animated again, which I thought was smart.
It's so good to be home.
Mike brings to Shrek, basically. I mean, I can't separate the two. Mike is Shrek.
The kingdom of far, far away, Donkey. That's where we're going. Far, far away.
Mike and I are comedians, and for some reason, when comedians get these animated things, if it's good, funny characters that we could stretch out in, it turns into something special.
Getting to participate in the second one, just it's such a thrill. It's so gratifying.
Shrek? Shrek! Shrek! Shrek!
The first time around, it was kind of I'd never had the experience of doing a voice for an animated film, so I didn't really know the process or know what to expect. So I was learning about her as I went. So this time coming in, I know her better, and I get to play with her a little bit more, and it's not such a surprise.
We're always happy to see you, Donkey.
Her sweetness is unfiltered. It comes out. She's a very lovely person, and I think audiences respond to her because there's no filters.
Oh, come on. They'll love you. I do.
We all have our own little thing about us. We have our own little comic essence, you know, and that you can do that, you know, anywhere.
Oh, you got a puppy? All I got in my room was shampoo.
I don't believe you can enter the Shrek world without Donkey in there. He's really the Shakespearean fool of the whole world.
Wow, it's gonna be champagne wishes and caviar dreams from now on.
Donkey is, he's just a really positive character. He's always, you know, looking at the bright side of everything and trying to work it out.
Ain't no stopping us now.
Happy-go-lucky Donkey.
Shrek, Fiona, and Donkey cross paths with an extremely gifted cast of characters while on their adventure meeting the in-laws.
It's one thing to be married, but now he has to meet the parents.
You are hereby summoned to the kingdom of far, far away for a royal ball.
Royal ball? Can I come?
And her parents have asked her to come let them celebrate her marriage with Shrek.
This is it.
This is it.
This is it. This is it.
When they first see Shrek come out of the carriage, they're just appalled.
Who on earth are they?
I think the Queen, who's played by Julie Andrews, is kind of accepting of the fact that Shrek is an ogre. But I don't think the King of Far, Far Away, played by John Cleese, I don't think he's nearly as accepting.
I think it's a bit of a surprise.
Bit of a shock.
I mean, Mum tries to be terribly nice about it, but Dad's, you're just straight out front about it.
I'm just gobsmacked.
I think, Harold, you're taking this a little too personally. This is Fiona's choice.
Yes, but she was supposed to choose the prince we picked out for her.
Don't you remember when we were young and we were down by the pond and all the lilies were out and...
It's not the same! I don't think you realize that our daughter has married a monster!
Oh, stop being such a drama king.
I hope I'm not interrupting, but I'm told you're the one to talk to about an ogre problem.
You have engaged my valuable services, Your Majesty. Just tell me where I can find this ogre.
Antonio Banderas is playing Puss in Boots.
He's an assassin. He's sent there to kill Shrek.
Now, ye ogre, pray for mercy from Puss in Boots.
Puss in Boots, El Gato con Botas in Spanish, is a character that I
No, since I am probably 3. But I never knew that I was going to play him someday in my life. Already our minds are becoming one. I feel very proud to be part of this team and be part of this project. It's beautiful.
Stop, Ogre! I have misjudged you.
Excuse me. Oh, sorry to barge in like this, but...
What in Grimm's name are you doing here?
This time, we're joined by some amazing talents like Jennifer Saunders.
Mummy can handle this. I'm playing the fairy godmother, who is the star of Shrek 2. I think. She couldn't be the nice, happy, sweet fairy godmother. She's a bit of a sort of celebrity, show business fairy godmother.
But remember, dear, if you should ever need me, happiness, it's just a teardrop away.
You know, she just brings this amazing performance to the fairy godmother, and when I hear her voice, I can definitely come up with 15 different things that could be, you know, under the surface of the character.
Harold, you forced me to do something I really didn't want to do.
Jennifer was amazing. I mean, Jennifer, again, was someone I always wanted to work with, admired right back from French and Saunders through Ab Fab and all the stuff she's ever done.
She's got quite a few things stirring in her pot.
You remember my son, Prince Charming. Prince Charming.
Charming? Oh, is that you? My gosh, it's been years. When did you get back?
Oh, about 5 minutes ago, actually. After I endured blistering winds and scorching days, I climbed to the highest room in the tallest tower.
Prince Charming is Rupert Everett, who is an angel.
He's daring, he's dashing, he's brave, and so he represents all of that. He's living the so-called dream. There to await the kiss of the handsome Prince Charming.
And it was destiny that his kiss would break the dreaded curse.
I think the most exciting thing, in a way, is that, you know, the classic thing of a book opening and someone reading the lines, and I get to read the Once Upon a Time bit at the beginning. Once upon a time, in a kingdom far, far away, the king and queen were blessed with a beautiful baby girl. And throughout the land, everyone was happy. That is really thrilling, because my whole childhood was, you know, was going to the cinema and seeing those bits of silk with a book on top and hearing some voice saying once upon a time long, long ago.
Rupert is interesting because he's also a very well-trained, you know, theatrical stage actor. And so he has all this presence and very professional, very, very serious about his performance, and yet he does a lot of comedy.
I mean, after all, you know, if you got it, flaunt it, right?
So it was just such a wonderful blend.
Is that glitter on your lips?
Cherry flavored. Want a taste?
Just an amazing group of actors. They're so good that you actually end up getting to know and falling in love with the characters. I've had a great experience being Shrek, being the voice of Shrek, and because families come up to me and are very, very grateful that Shrek exists because of the message, because it's funny, and because it's so well written and so well put together.
Every time I walk down the street, when a parent or a kid comes up, or parents always like, you know who that is? That's Princess Fiona. And the kids are always like, no, it's not. You know?
People come up with their kids and they'll say like, my son has seen Shrek 100 times. And the kid will be standing there and they'll say like, do a scene from Shrek. And the little kid would do like a whole scene from Shrek and do the donkey's lines and stuff. And then they're looking at you and you go like, eh.
It's so clever, the way that the humor, that's my favorite part of these films, are just how far they can go and how they make you laugh.
It's a trip. It's a trip because, you know, you can do anything with animation. There are no rules, you know.
I thought it was wonderfully funny and very, very touching, and above all, funnily enough, so intelligent, so smart. Loved it. So when they said, be in it, I thought, well, this is the one to be in.
I think the movie has many different layers to be enjoyed by many different types of audiences, all around the world, actually.
It's better than the first one, which was pretty good, you know.
Well, I think it's wonderfully funny.
And I'll tell you right now.
Watch the movie.
in DreamWorks' new film, SHREK 2. One very lovable fairy tale character by the name of Puss in Boots has everyone talking.
I think my favorite thing in the entire movie is Puss in Boots.
It would be an honor to lay my life on the line for you.
Antonio Banderas is playing Puss in Boots. He is a very dynamic Shrek.
For you, baby, I could be.
He is funny and charming, and that little cat is so sweet. Look at him in his wee little boots. You know, how many cats can wear boots? Honestly. I want to take that cat home and have him be my pet.
What I love about him is the contrast. As soon as I saw that picture that they showed me at the studio, and I asked about the size of the character, and he said, well, it's very little actually, and compared to Ogre, it's just nothing.
Oh, listen, he's purring.
Then I started thinking in the possibility of doing exactly the opposite of what that body was demanding from me.
Look, a little cat.
Look out, Shrek! He got a piece!
So it was like, what's this new character gonna be like? And when I saw it into his big eyes, and it's like this cute little cat. He looks like he'll scratch you, but he's a cute little cat. You know?
I mean, those eyes are, it's actually eyes that can't stop an army. I would love to have those.
Oh. The king of Far, Far Away is very unhappy that Shrek is an ogre, so he puts out a hit on Shrek.
Excuse me, I need to have an ogre taken care of.
And hires an assassin by the name of Puss in Boots.
Pray for mercy from Puss in Boots. I have the opportunity, actually, in this movie of taking a little laugh on Zorro's character. Serious, arrogant, brilliant, very sly. And in this character, what I try to do is just to actually laugh of myself a little bit. Fear me, if you dare. Well, he presents himself as being a gentleman, coming from Spain, very proud, but at the same time, we immediately start seeing that he got his little problems too.
That is nasty.
And immediately, he establishes a much more hate than love relationship with Donkey.
I look any different?
You still look like an ass to me.
The donkey feels like Puss in Boots is kind of, pushing into his territory.
I'm sorry, the position of annoying talking animal has already been taken.
He needed somebody like me. He needed somebody like this cat, he was just too high there in his annoying position.
Listen, if we need an expert on licking ourselves, we'll give you a call.
Donkey gets very, very jealous of Puss in Boots. All I can say is, who's the green one now? Who's the green? The ogre's green.
I got a great relationship with Andrew because he was the one who was with me in the booth all the time. So he, for me, was everybody. He was Fiona, he was Shrek, he was everybody. And actually, he's a great imitator of voices.
Directing Antonio Banderas was incredibly easy. And he's just really high energy, really sweet, really fun. He's quite willing to jump around and make silly cat noises. At the same time, he kind of got straight away who the character was.
Isn't we supposed to be having a fiesta? I like him very much. I don't know if I am like him, but I do really like him very much. I like that kind of mischievous thing, and mixed with the possibility of getting emotional like he does at the end of the movie, crying, all that kind of a sense of arrogance and honor and pride.
I'm a huge fan of Antonio Banderas, and in my next life, I will look like him and sound like him.
Here we go! Oh, no, run, hit it!
So she said, what's the problem, baby? What's the problem? I don't know. Maybe I'm in love. Think about it every time I think about it. Can't stop thinking about it.
Like the original Shrek, the soundtrack for SHREK 2 features an eclectic blend of vibrant songs and phenomenal musicians.
You can't really second guess what an audience wants. You just kind of have to go with your instinct. We wanted to have musicians and music that was very much our own taste. And we were lucky that we had a lot of artists that liked the first movie, that were very willing and wanted to do something for this movie.
The songs just got to kick in and just, launch the movie into this high energy love fest. Counting Crows came in plopped a song on us.
The song's called Accidentally in Love. It really fits the movie because it's essentially the story of two people who fall in love, who weren't necessarily supposed to fall in love. Accidentally in love just means, what are you gonna do? You're in love.
I've never worked on a movie that was easier to find people that wanted to be a part of it. Everybody we approached wanted to be a part of Shrek 2. The first music that came to the film was really the stuff that the directors wanted to lay into the scenes that they felt were helping propel the scenes, whether it be Funky Town by Lip Sync or David Bowie's Changes.
The song that I was asked to contribute to for Shrek 2 is a song of mine called Changes, an Australian called Butterfly Busha. Did a non-flowery version of my song, and I loved it. I thought she did a terrific job.
I've arranged and had to do a lot of writing around the Bonnie Tyler song. Jennifer Saunders is singing the vocal, and she's really terrific.
Late at night, I toss and I turn and I dream of what I need. Hit it! I need a hero. I'm holding out for a hero till the end of the night. He's gotta be strong and he's gotta be fast and he's gotta be fresh from the fight.
We had Tom Waits come in to write a song for when the king goes into the poisoned apple.
I like my town with a little drop of poison.
The Eels, a Los Angeles band, gave us a song called I Need Sleep for the moment when Shrek is tossing and turning, sleeping for the first night in Fiona's, bedroom.
I noticed that Shrek was having a sleepless night, and I had just gotten off a plane from Japan, and I was very jet-lagged, and I felt like we had this thing in common, so it was very easy for me to write a song about needing sleep.
I tried counting sheep, but there's one I always miss.
It's half for Shrek and it's half for me. We're splitting it right down the middle.
The Pete Yorn cover of the Buzzcocks classic Ever Fallen in Love is another example where we had the original Buzzcocks song in there, and we thought that's a good one to cover.
Well, I hate when you hear a cover and it's exactly like the original, it's like super boring. So we're changing it up a little bit, and the original version is very distinctly British sounding vocals, so I'm going to go the other way and try and make it sound kind of really American.
The Shrek movies are quite special in a way that there are quite a few songs in the movie, and the score has to operate on various different levels, which is fun. Often one's coming out of an eel song into a very romantic scene, perhaps between Shrek and Fiona, or a funny scene with Eddie Murphy and the donkey. So it's the score is really the glue that is used to keep the story together.
Livin' La Vida Loca is the I'm a Believer moment for Shrek 2. The performances by Eddie Murphy and Antonio Banderas really are what make this moment work, I think.
It's almost like it's becoming a tradition now with this second part too, just to finish always the movie with a big song in which everybody participates.
Well, the difficult thing this time is it's not just our movie anymore. It's owned by the entire audience. And because thankfully the first movie was very successful, there's a very high level of expectation.
Upon hearing terms like global illumination, subsurface scattering, and hyperreality, one may come to the conclusion that scientists are talking about a comet hurling toward Earth. When in fact, that very terminology is being used today in the making of Shrek 2. Which showcases some of the most astonishing breakthroughs ever in computer animation.
Technology has advanced in a number of ways that make Shrek 2 better, bigger, more beautiful than Shrek 1.
Yeah, one of the things that we're trying to do is definitely we're trying to raise the bar, and we want to make sure that we're pushing the envelope and really delivering something new for the audiences to see. In Shrek 2, we have a lot more human characters than we had in Shrek 1. And so we spent a lot of time kind of bringing up the level of, what the human characters look like. We have actually quite a few different hair systems and ways to deal with hair and fur so that it looked beautiful and perfect and moved nicely. And just in general, that the hair would look more believable.
Shrek 2 is more intricate and more detailed in such a way that it's able to present a picture that is more realistic, and you can almost walk into this movie.
We spent effects time developing rain systems and moving clouds for dramatic scene where clouds roll in, and snow.
That really has helped a lot to bring this much higher level of hyper reality to our world. You don't know what it is, you just know you feel more a part of it, and that's the goal, really.
There were many things that we wanted to do in the first Shrek, particularly with lighting, that just were not really achievable on the scale that we needed to achieve them.
There's a lighting technique that we have developed a shader for that we call subsurface scattering,
which provides a translucency level to the skin.
There's another lighting technique that we call the bounce shader, and this is a form of global illumination where you simulate the way light bounces around just in general, not just in skin, but within a room.
More fur, more hair, more water, more smoke, rain, effects, fire, all of those things that were hard and we were developing them last time, we were able to launch off from that point and develop them further this time.
Shrek and Donkey and Puss get caught in a rainstorm and get soaked. I don't think that's ever been seen in a CG film before.
And it's beautiful. So people, even though we haven't seen anything between Shrek 1 and Shrek 2, they have definitely been working very hard to make sure that this is a whole new feast for the eyes. It's really great.
When you see Shrek 2, and you see a mere 3 years later what we are able to realize of our artists' dreams and imagination in that film, it kind of takes your breath away.
Computer graphics is still a relatively young industry, and together on each of these films we try to create and invent new solutions towards the creative ambition of each film. We have an amazing partnership with HP. A couple of years ago, we signed a strategic alliance together with our companies.
I think once HP got inside and understood a lot about our work process and our thought process, our creative process, it sort of opened up, lots of opportunities. So it's really become a good two-way street.
It's gonna be champagne wishes and caviar dreams from now on.
Designing the incredibly stylized look and feel of Shrek 2 requires the imagination and expertise of many talented people, as everything in an animated film must be created from scratch.
To get the look of the movie going, we work in imagining what the movie will look like by painting, sketching, drawing.
Wow! Character designer Tom Hester plays a key role in defining the look, utilizing research, a fertile imagination, and clay to craft the film's amazingly rich characters.
With a sculpture, we can kind of talk about 360 degrees of angle there and really figure out how this character is going to look. We'll do several versions. We've got like 11 versions of the king character, for instance. Let's try him heavy, let's try him skinny, let's try him with a kind of greasy look to him, and let's try all these things. But we really have to identify the character first. At that point, we'll transfer all these sculptures, send them up to PDI so that can be digitized into the computer.
Well, let's explore that, shall we?
Shrek 2 really, we always joke, is really like a fashion show.
In designing character clothing that moves, wrinkles, and reacts to light like real cloth, costume designer Isis Musenden worked closely with animators in bringing a remarkable selection of wardrobe to fruition.
We design everything on an animated film: the fabric, the trims, the clothing, the jewelry, the shoes.
Well, they're both festive, aren't they?
I think the crowds are going to look amazing. We created fabrics that could be used 100 times over, punching in different colors. We found every way we could to multiply and to make it more interesting visually than just the few costumes we had before.
Once all the sets are built, the characters cast, and the costumes created, it's the job of the production designer and art director to oversee every little detail.
We have to design everything
twigs, rocks, boulders, moss on the rocks, how it grows on the rocks, forest debris. So we had different levels of things. So forest debris would be anything from pine needles to oak leaves to bark to stones. We strategically placed those in the shots to give it a more natural feel. It's fairly challenging, but I think it works. It gives SHREK a uniqueness, and that's probably what part of its appeal is too.
SHREK 2 is just as amazing as SHREK 1 in terms of being state-of-the-art, cutting-edge technology of animation. So it's just even more of a spectacle than SHREK 1 was.